Welcome back to DIY with KB. If you're new here, my name is Kiva and I teach people how to achieve the luxe look for less. In today's video, I'm giving you some HomeGoods shopping secrets. These are pro tips you need to shop at HomeGoods if you want a modern minimal home. And this is a video you're not going to miss. I'm so excited about this because if you go in with these rules, I promise you, you're going to have an elevated, good looking home for absolutely no money. I know I don't look excited because I just had oral surgery, but this is as excited as I could get. I'm so pumped for this video, so let's get into it. When you first walk into HomeGoods, the first thing you see is always the garden section. And the garden section is a great resource even if you're not looking for garden items. So there are indoor items in the garden section. The first thing I want to draw your attention to are all of these bust sculptures. Busts are used all the time in luxury stores to kind of tone down modern design and make it more warm. So you can always grab one of these, and if you're worried about the opening at the top, just put it on a tall shelf or actually put plants in it and then it flows a little bit better. The garden section is also home to moss, and moss is really great because it makes a great centerpiece. You don't have to worry about maintaining flowers or switching out something. Moss is really easy to maintain, and they also have sets with different types of moss, so it looks a lot more real than fake, which moss can sometimes look that way if you're just dealing with something that is completely uniform. Now, everyone knows this, when you have a modern or contemporary home, part of that home's charm is that it is minimal, and minimalism is made possible by having good home organization. HomeGoods is my go-to place for home organization bins because they're exact same bins you see at the Container Store and Bed Bath & Beyond for $20, $30 for $10, $12, way more affordable prices. You definitely don't need to go all out, but having a really good organization system that works for you keeps your home clutter-free, and therefore all of your styling counts and all of the attention is on the beautiful styling and curating that you've done, not the mess that you've created because you didn't have a place to put things. When you're looking for bins, look for ones that are really minimal. So I love these ones. They just have a very simple black top. There's no writing on them or a chalkboard label. It's really nice and clean, and then I'll just go in and add my own labels at a different point in time. To ensure you don't spend too much money on your organization though, be sure to measure everything out before you go to the store to make sure that you're spending the least amount of money possible and that everything will actually fit. If you've been staying up to date with design trends, you know that layering wood is so popular right now in so many design styles, especially the modern design style. So people love to layer wood charcuterie boards or just like pizza boards, but they can be really expensive, especially if you get them vintage. So what you can do is actually go to the charcuterie section of HomeGoods and get these wooden boards, which are only $10, $15, and layer them instead. When it comes to decor, always stick to a color scheme. If you're looking for a modern minimal home, you need black, white, gray, and then some earth tones. Don't incorporate too many earth tones though if you're not trying to have an earthy space because it just doesn't work as well. If you want to include some metallics such as brass or silver or gold, be sure to look for accents that are all the same in terms of their finish. So if you have an antique brass lamp, you also want to have an antique brass mirror or antique brass anything other style of decor. You want to keep it consistent because when things aren't brassy or antique or if they're not uniform, things start to look glam really easily, and that's not what we're looking for. And if you're a lover of coffee table books, HomeGoods is a great resource for that. Just be sure to pick up coffee table books again that are very minimal in terms of design and work within your color scheme. There's no point in picking up something, one, that you're never going to read, and two, that creates a visual clutter in your space. Another good tip is to go back to the decor section and get containers for your utensils instead of using those cheesy ones that say drink good beer, it's 1 o'clock, utensils, farmhouse, stuff like that. Keep it really nice and minimal in your decor in your kitchen and also everywhere else in your home. Stay away from those signs. Now, HomeGoods is one of my favorite places to get artwork, but not all art is created equal. So the first thing you need to do is run your fingers along the artwork. Does it have texture? If not, you do not want it. There's nothing wrong with having printed art, but it doesn't look as sophisticated, and that's what we're always looking for in our homes, especially since the artwork at HomeGoods can get fairly pricey. If your color scheme is black and white, maybe choose a piece like this that has black and white in it, and then it has a few accent colors, so it adds some visual interest but doesn't break from your color scheme. You can definitely use art as a real pop of color, but it's not as common in modern spaces, especially when you're not living in a mansion or a house that's just for show. You kind of want it to flow, so look for pieces like this. Also, be sure to look for pieces that are dupes of pieces that you see at luxury stores. This, for example, is so much money at Restoration Hardware, but they have this for only $40 at HomeGoods, so it's a great price and it's so affordable that I wouldn't even DIY it. Be careful when you're looking at the frames in HomeGoods. Sometimes the frames make things too inherently farmhouse or too bohemian, so make sure those frames as well are in your color scheme, or they are consistent in terms of the shade of the metal or something like that. Consistency is key in a modern home because it's all about having the same colors and just having variation in terms of texture and pattern, nothing else. HomeGoods is also an amazing resource for mirrors, but look for mirrors that have texture. This one, for example, it's brass and it has a ton of texture, and it just makes it look a whole lot more sophisticated. And it's not about the sophistication necessarily, it's about making it look like it's not glam, because when you have those bright metallic gold mirrors, it just screams glam and it's very distracting and almost gaudy. But this is a really toned back way to find something that looks super luxe. You can also find something with curves and stuff, because again, modern design is about maintaining a color scheme, but making things interesting with shapes and patterns and textures. And so this is a great way to do so, especially with a really good price tag. I know that we all love throw pillows, but unless the pillow has a unique texture or pattern, if it doesn't work with your color scheme, don't get it. It's actually way cheaper to get pillow covers elsewhere, and it's way easier to get things that actually match your blacks or your grays and other colors in your color scheme. These pillows honestly are too small, they're not full enough, and they kind of just look copy and pasted from other people's homes. When you enter HomeGoods, book it to that lighting section because they have phenomenal pieces and they're super affordable. I especially like to look for task lighting in HomeGoods because they have these pieces for only $40, $100, and they are upwards of $200 on every other website. Look for things that have really straight lines and are super angular. Don't get things that kind of are candlestick or very shiny or glassy, because again, that's too glam. You want everything that looks really streamlined and sophisticated. Your lamps are actually going to be the things that are a little more traditional in your modern space. Now, HomeGoods is rug heaven. I have some controversial views on it, but I will say that HomeGoods is a place where you can really find some good rugs. Look for simple colors and patterns and make sure that they have a thick pile. When things are too thin, they look kind of cheap. And you want everything to be simple because again, we're doing the modern. Area rugs are an opportunity to introduce colors, but I wouldn't necessarily do that, and I think the ones at HomeGoods can kind of, you know, go overboard with the colors. So just keep it simple and look for those brands that you know and love, like Lodoy, Safavieh, other brands like that. They have phenomenal things there. And just make sure it's nice and thick because it will really feel nice on your toes and really just elevate the entire space. But stay away from those really tiny rolled up rugs in the corner because those rugs just don't occupy enough space, and honestly they're more affordable elsewhere. But we just want to get really big grand rugs for our modern spaces that allows all of our furniture to sit on top of it and kind of bring the space together. We don't really want as many accent rugs in our modern minimal space. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. Those are my HomeGoods shopping secrets. I promise you, if you apply any of these tips when you walk into HomeGoods, your home is going to look fantastic. Be sure to let me down below if you've used any of these tips and let me know how your home turned out. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And until next time, have a beautiful day.